comics ay naganap din noong ika-13 ng Agosto nung nakaraang taon dun sa Comics Museum. And at that time, we observed na isa lang ang babaeng komikera sa panel discussion. So right now, I think makasaysayan at makabuluhan, yes, gusto ko gawin din makasaysayan, basta makabuluhan na meron tayong hindi lang isa, kundi napakaraming mga komikera na palagay kong nasasantabi kung minsan dahil nga laging natatanghal ang mga lalaki, no offense men. But you know, it's nice to put women and queer people out there. So, ayan, palakpakan din po natin silang lahat. Upo lang din ako, nanginginig ako. Okay. So, ayan. Bago natin maging normal na pagpapakilala sa sarili, mas nais kong tanungin, ano yung entry point ninyo sa comics? So, kailan kayo nagsimula na mag-comics? Ano o sino or paano kayo nahila sa pagko-comics?
Hello, hello everyone. Ako po si Julian. Nag-start ako mag-comics nung college ata. Tapos, ever since nung bata ako, nagbabasa na. Mahilig ako magbasa. Lagi ako tumatambay sa library. Tapos, ang una ko nabasa na local comics is mostly mga Pugad Baboy, Pupong, ganyan. Tapos, ang na-inspire talaga ako na gusto ko din mag-comics is nung nabasa ko yung Kiko Machine ni Manik Sabrera. Saka yung Alamat ng Pangit ni Apple. So, ayun. Tapos ever since 2014 na yun, sumasali na ako sa mga comic conventions.
Hello, good afternoon to everyone. So, ako si Bambi ng Comics by Imagination. Tapos, before that, nagtrabaho kasi ako sa Questor The Ultimate Anime Magazine. That was the early 2000s. Companion siya nung mga anime na napapanood natin dati sa GMA. So, nagkaroon din kami ng mga original manga. So, doon kami nagsimula mag-comics. So, and then when the magazine closed, nagkaroon kami ng hiatus sa, matagal akong nagkaroon ng hiatus sa local scene. But in mga around 2016-17 sa MIDF, na-discover ko yung booth ni Miss Tepay. So, yay! So, yes. Yun. Kasi nagbo-booth sila sa MIDF and then she was carrying not just yung sa kanila na Meganon, nandun din yung tabi po, nila Mervin. And so I saw na napakaganda ng quality ng mga comics, no? So it's something na parang, wow, parang we were missing out. So parang I want to be part of that scene. Until yun nga, nag-visit kami ng family ko sa Comic-Con, Comic-Con. And then 2018 is when we released yung first naming comics, which is Colonel Banahaw. Continuing pa siya ngayon. And then Colonel Tales. And then si Dubidu Ask, which is an official selection ng PICOF, Philippine International Comics Festival. And then, ano pa ba? Ayun, to be continued.
Hello, ako si Danny. Buti naman kit ni Miss Bambi yung Questor kasi parang yun yung mga una kong binasa na local comics. Yung Questor, Extreme Manga Mania yata yung tawag. Pero nagsimula lang ako na gumawa ng comics nung naka-attend ako nung Halia Manawari sa South. Tapos si Sir Mervin, si Julius, saka si Julian yung speaker doon. Basta may nagtanong about sa advice. Pag daw gusto mong gumawa ng comic, anong gagawin mo? Tapos parang sabi lang nila, walang special advice, parang gumawa ka lang. Tapos parang ano na siya, parang may nag-snap sa isip ko na, sige, try ko mong gumawa ng comics. Parang yun, doon nagsimula. Mga around 2018 yata yun, 2017, mga gano'n.
Hello po. Yung sa akin naman, nagsimula ako sa pagbabrowse sa Diaryo. So, ang earliest parang exposure ay si Paul Medina, Jess Abrera. And then eventually, nung nakasali na ako sa mga Ay, hindi pala nung na-introduce ako sa parang Comic-Con, parang sa bahay ng alumni pa yata yun. So, parang gulat pa ako na, oh, okay. Tapos, ang first exposure ko sa parang independent comics ay kay Mel Casipit, yung Baboy, kay Castillo Patintero, yeah. Elmer, so yun yung mga na-introduce sa akin. Tapos eventually, parang mas na-veer ako sa parang zine na scene. So, ayun, mas madami pang mas experimental na comics yung mga nandun. So, nandito na ngayon.
Pwedeng pa-selfie. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Yun lang po. Ako po si Sherry Lee Baet Zamar. Ako yung pinakamatanda sa panel na ito. Nag-start ako mag-comics around 2002. Mahilig ako sa comic strips. Hindi naman talaga ako ganun kagaling mag-drawing. Hanggang cartoons lang yung type na drawing ko. Tapos I learned later on na yung grandfather ko ay isa ring cartoonista. And that he was also part of the Samahang Cartoonista ng Pilipinas. Kasabayan niya sila Alcala. So, unfortunately, I wasn't able to see any of his works. Pero dahil doon, na-inspire ako mag-comic strips. So, nung yung friends ko, after college, we tried doing animation. Ang hirap pala. Tapos lumabas yung Culture Crush Comics. Tapos nakita namin na meron din gumagawa ng mga indie comics. So, that's the one that pushed us to make local comics. Nung nagsimula ako, taga-benta lang ako ng comics ng friend ko, si Armand Roy Cadlas, Armor Troopers. Pero eventually, gumawa ako ng comic strip based on yung friends ko. So that was yung Carpool. And no February 14 to 2004 was the first nalabas nung Carpool sa Manila Bulletin. And it's 20 years na. So 20th anniversary na ng Carpool. So please bili po kayo ng Carpool Last Stop para may pambayad kami sa van. Thank you.
Ayan, so makikita natin na maraming entry points at maraming parang nagko-converge yung comics community to different kinds of spaces like nabanggit ang MIBF, Comic-Con, Comiket, and many spaces. So makikita natin na napakabukas din talaga ng medium at ng community ng comics. So ngayon naman, sa palagay ninyo, ano-ano ang kalakasan ng comics na natatangi or unique lamang sa kanyang, sa medium na ito, na hindi masyadong na-express sa other mediums, like hindi na-express ng, let's say, kwentong pambata or ng film, or what do you like about comics that made you stay? Kasi alam din natin na mahirap mag-comics. So, ayun, what made you stay? Ano yung katanging ng comics na yun? Anyone can start.
Comics, madali siyang, well, kung comic strips, medyo madali siyang gawin compared sa sequential. Kasi sequential is longer to make. But, what makes it different nga from other medium, pwede mo siyang balik-balikan, lalo na on its physical form. You could share it with others. Ngayon, sa social media, it could go trending, post mo lang, and anyone who relates to the comic strip can share it. So, mas mabilis mag-convey ng message yung comics. Also, kung self-publish ka, walang may control sa gusto mong ilabas. So kung gusto mong maglabas ng bastos, labas mo. Kung gusto mong maglabas ng something about your religion or your beliefs, ilabas mo. So yun yung beauty of being an independent comic creator din. Yun nga lang, about selling and about getting money out of it, that's a totally different story. Pero we like comics that way. Yun po.
Yung sa akin naman, parang siguro a different perspective na din. Dahil mas na-introduce ako na-introduce ako sa comics or mas lalo ako nag-stay sa comics dahil sa zines. So, parang...
Sorry po,
sige
limited lang tayo na speaker.
Sige po. Akit po kayo.
Sige. Ayun, buti na lang. Akala ko lang tao.
Sorry po.
Malis yan Ay,
Ayun. So, sa mga hindi familiar sa zines, mas freeform kasi siya. So, I guess for me, kaya ako nag-stay sa comics,
doon ka nga sa
hindi naman ako control, pero mas na-hone yung storytelling in terms of paano mo nilalayout yung panel. Ngayon, mas aware na ako kung ano yung mga pages na dapat ang nilagay sa gitna, ano yung dapat yung spreads, ano yung paano siya tatakbo from one page to the other. Which is weird kasi parang pabaliktad parang back in 2017, lahat ng mga tao ay nag-webtoon, di ba? Yung parang lahat ay long format na pababa. Tapos ngayon, nilalayout ko siya na para talagang libro, which is parang bumabalik dun sa time na yun. Tapos, ayun nga, dahil nga, ang intro ko din sa comics ay through zines, parang yung form din ng comics ko ay mukha din siyang zine. So, hindi siya, ayun. Ito yun ang nasabi ni Ma'am kanina na parang, ni Ma'am Sherry, na mas maraming experimental zines ngayon, nag-iiba na din yung forma niya at ayun, mas maraming nagtatry ng iba't ibang formats ngayon. So yun yung interesting din makita. Siguro mas marami na tayong makikita na gano'n ngayon, hopefully. So ayun.
Sige. Siguro dagdag, sasabi na rin nila yung kagandahan ng comics. Pero yun nga, siguro sa akin lang yung accessibility nga niya. Dahil parang nasabi na rin kanina na wala kang may control dun sa kinds ng story na pwede mong sabihin, kung anong form niya, kahit anong sabihin mo pwede sa comics and sa zines. So, parang fun siya kasi pag nakakilala ka ng iba't ibang mga creator, iba-iba kasi mag-isip lahat ng creator. So, parang nagkakaroon ka ng perspective sa kanya-kanyang style of storytelling, pati sa mismong art style, iba-iba. So, yun yung masaya sa comics.
Ayun, dadagdag ko lang dun sa sinabi nila. Aside from accessibility, parang magandang pang-promote ng inclusivity yung comics. Because comics doesn't discriminate. Lalaki, babae, matanda, bata, kahit anong reading level, may wordless, kung hindi pa kayo nagbabasa, kahit, rich, poor, lahat, accessible ang comics. So, that's one thing na nagustuhan ko dun sa medium. Ay.
Hello. First of all, they forgot to call me. I'm Pilar. I would say the best thing sa comics. For me lang, I mean, it's almost the same as their answer. But I would say for me, the best thing about comics, sobrang creative. It's like you can make the art move. And, I don't know, kasi it's like, you know how you can just like do anything in the comic, paneling, character design, and even the dialogue. For me, it's like everything is open and acceptable. And I think anyone can try, actually. Parang hindi siya like, how do I say this? Anyone can do comics and they can do whatever they want with it. Yeah, that's pretty much what I think.
Siguro add ko na lang din sa sinabi ni Pilar, yung gusto ko sa comics nga is yung pwede ka mag-start ng comics kahit sobrang simple lang yung drawing mo na sobrang basic lang na kahit stick figures, ganyan. So kasi ganun ako nag-start as in wala talaga akong drawing background pero na siya, parang sobrang madali siyang medium na mag-start. So kahit hindi ka ganun kagaling magsulat, hindi ka ganun kagaling mag-drawing, pero pag sinama mo yung drawing sa yung sulat, parang pwede ka magkwento. Oo. Yun.
Yan. Thank you so much for sharing. Napaka-insightful din na parang, yun nga, pinapatunayan niya kung gaano kabukas yung medium and kaya siya exciting kasi lagi nga siya nagbabago. Hindi nagiging stable or iisa lang or monotonous ang comics kumbaga So, dahil laging nagbabago ang comics at palagay ko rin ang mga works niyo rin ay nagbabago over time, paano kayo kumukonekta sa audience niyo? May strategies ba kayo na ma-hook ang readers? This question is sponsored by JM Valenzuela, by the way. So, kasi mamaya may Q&A din, so feel free to ask. So, ayun, I don't want to take this credit, so ayun.
Ako kasi parang na-utilize, yung para magkaroon ng audience, sobrang nagamit ko yung internet. Kasi siguro sa generation na din namin na parang nung time na yun nauso yung online comics, ganyan. So, even before ako maglabas ng print, meron na akong, parang mas nauna ko siyang in-upload online. So, ayun, sobrang nung nag-start ako, wala talagang expectation na may audience. As in, siguro nag-start mga FB friends ko lang, ganyan. Tapos medyo nahihiya pa akong gumawa ng page na ayoko pang gumawa na na malalaman nilang ako yung gumawa ng comics na yun. So, ayun, siguro try lang din talaga na ilabas mo lang yung work mo. Tapos, bahala na kung may makagets, kung may makarelate. Tapos, if ever na, may makabasa naman, ayun, eventually magkakaroon ka din ng sarili mong audience.
So, for me, kasi I would honestly say I can't exactly say kung paano how to get an audience, especially from today. Kasi there was a time that I had to like stop muna because break, and so sometimes I can be a bit I'm medyo unsure ako how to connect with other people other than the fact na I guess for me I just want to be more honest about my work. Like, alam ko may trending na yun. There's always trends every year, every day, every week. But for me, I think I work best with total honesty. And kasi for me, if I do that, I would get a genuine audience for my works. And ganun ang gusto ko. Parang genuine support na. Kasi trending can they change every time. So I would rather stick to honesty.
Expound ko lang yung answer na. Kasi ganun talaga, lalo na yung kapag when you age. Ay, i-debunk ko lang yung sabi ni Sherry. Sabi niya siya yung matanda. Actually, ako kasi, yung sa events namin, nagvo-volunteer pa siya eh. So, so mas matanda ako. So as you age, actually yun nga, parang it's harder to keep up with the trends. So, exactly, na yun nga, you just have to be honest with your stories, with how you tell. Kasi your readers can tell when you're being fake. Na yun nga, na you're just doing this para makiride on, o para maging uso, o para, i-hijack yung trend. So parang the key for me, for us, is yun nga, to tell our stories honestly. And the audience, the readers, will connect with that.
Hindi ko lang kung technique ba, pero Kasi nung nagsimula ako sa comics, parang hindi ko alam kung selfish ba siya. Pero parang ginawa ko lang talaga siyang outlet nung una. Tapos nung nalabas ko na yung unang issue, parang may mga nagsasabi na nakarelate sila din sa sa story mo. Tapos doon ko nalaman na okay, ito palang thoughts ko for the stories that I have. Merong market for it or may readers for it. Which is parang related din dun sa question kanina kung bakit maganda yung comics. Kasi lahat ng klase ng story, meron kang mahanap na reader na kapartner mo. Regardless kung slice of life siya, or horror, or medyo experimental. Laging merong someone na magbabasa ng work mo. Kahit isa or dalawa lang, meron na.
Sa experience ko naman, wala akong paki-charger. Joke lang. I mean, yung comics ko kasi medyo self-indulgent kasi siya, parang purge siya nung, ano ba? Medyo, ang char lang nung, ang unique, pero hindi. Yung comics kasi centered around a 20-year-old girl na may colostomy na, yung having a colostomy is not your problem until you're 60 eh. So parang, kahit ang eldest natin sa group, I don't think na ipoproblemahin niya yun. So medyo unique siya. So, wala ako talagang target audience. Hindi wala akong pake. Nilabas ko lang talaga siya for the sake. Kasi parang gusto ko lang din i-process na, pwede pa lang nangyari yun. Yung mga ganong instances. Tapos majority ng mga audience ko is mga med students. Tapos pupunta siya sa table, kasi i-judge lang nila yung drawing ko. Kung tama ba. Or mga titas of Manila na tipong yung asawa ko na si geriatric patient ang asawa ganyan. Tapos ako parang makarelate ako sa asawa mo na 72 years old, di ba? Hindi wala talaga. So, ayun, parang yung in my case, parang nilabas ko lang siya for the sake na gusto ko lang parang i-express or i-process yung nangyari around that time. Pero eventually, parang yung mga tao, sila na din yung nag-connect. So, salamat. Thank you.
So, tama nga. Kasi every writer, every creator naman, may kanya-kanyang story. So, for sure naman, yung story nila, may makaka-relate at some point. For me, madali lang kasi yung mga jokes ko is about yung barkada ko. Pero alam ko, hindi naman lahat ng pinipili ko lang rin kung ano yung jokes about yung grupo namin, yung sa tingin ko may makaka-relate. Kasi syempre yung iba masyadong extreme or yung iba is too personal. So ang nilalabas ko lang jokes is yung alam kong, alam ko may makaka-relate dito kasi fans sila ng sci-fi o kaya yung mga parents din sila or yung mga instances na nanliligaw yung mga guys. So, madali lang for me kasi slice of life yun eh. Pero yun nga, seeing nga, like yung sa case ni Ma'am, there is an audience for every story. Kahit if you think na it's too weird, na baka walang makarelate. So yun, labas lang.
Kailangan nilang pupunta sa ibang table sa ibang
Kumbaga parang we all should just show up and just put our works out there, ano? Kahit na whatever our works is. And we all start from somewhere din eh. So, kaya din nalilinang at gumagaling tayo because we keep putting ourselves and our works out there. So, thank you so much for I'm learning a lot, to be honest. Although, alam mo, parang nare-reaffirm ka rin na, honesty is important because it will draw the right people to your comics. Kumbaga, hindi lahat target audience ng comics mo. And that's okay. But the right people will find your work. But you have to put it out there. Okay. So, meron ba kayong observations na napansin sa comic space sa present tsaka sa past? How do you deal with these changes?
Again, sorry.
Meron ba kayong observations from the comic scene today, tsaka dun sa past. Like, kunyari, dati ganito, ngayon wala na ganito. Yung ganun na, observations lang. It doesn't have to be negative or positive, just observations. And
Okay.
how do you personally deal with these changes if affected kayo sa particular changes na nakikita ninyo po?
Cost. Expenses. Okay, so, ayan, when we started, ayan, in my days, ganun no? Xerox copy lang kami. Black and white, Xerox, indie copies, indies. And during that time, piso, 2 piso. It's so easy to produce. It's so easy to price. Ang mga comics na binibenta namin was 25 pesos. But for now, sa cost ngayon, it's hard to sell a comic for 100 pesos or less. Kaya nga actually na-inspire ako sa Indie Comics Podcast yung early January nung sinabi nila, mag-indies na lang ulit tayo, balik indies. That's why I got inspired to do yung last book ko na indie style. Because I tried to price it talaga na less than 100 kahit na konti na lang yung kita ko. Kasi I wanted it back sana, yung ganong klase. Kasi it's really hard to compete with like, yes, stickers and postcards that are cheaper to buy or easier for people to buy than comics. So, ayun, the cost is really a burden to the artists ngayon. Yun yung isa sa mga napansin kong nagpapakahirap talaga sa creators today. Marami, as in, it's nice to see that after all these years, even after the pandemic, na marami pa rin creators na lumalabas. But, ayun nga, we are competing against, ayun nga, the attention of buyers kasi during events. So, yun yung isa sa mga hardships na pinagdadaanan namin ngayon. It's yung costs talaga. Otherwise, everything's okay naman. Kasi with technologies like the internet, if you can't afford to make yung physical copies, you could always put out your work online naman. So, yung freedom to post naman online is also a good thing. Pero if you really want to publish something on your own, yun talaga yung pahirap ngayon.
Actually, katulad ng sinabi ni Ma'am Sherry, yung sa cost nga talaga mahirap. So, sa case ko naman, dahil yung background ko ay more on zines, parang yun nga, photox talaga siya. Tapos parang eventually, yung inisip ko yung kung gusto ko magseryoso sa comics, kailangan kong i-factor in na lahat. So, magkano ba yung palala-move, yung papaprint, lahat. Parang, ang ginawa ko, nag-OT ako ng bonggang-bongga. So, may katas ako bumili ako ng printer ng sarili ko. Ganun na lang yung ginawa ko. So, katas ng korporasyon, tapos nag-quit ako pagkatapos. Nung nabili ko na yung printer. Tapos parang, bye, ganun. Ayoko na dun eh. Ang Ma'am Sherry soul sa akin siya. So, ayun. Tapos parang, yun, parang, yes, risk. Sobrang taas ng risk, pero at the same time, parang ito na yun eh. Ito na yung, sige, kung pursue ko siya, tapos pure indie, kailangan isipin ko yung cost. And then at the same time, parang ito din yung napansin ko, parang mas, yung mga comics creator ngayon ay mas nagda-diversify ng mga items nila. So, dati kasi, tanda ko, pag naglalatag din ako sa table, pure comics siya or zines yung nandun na nakalatag. Ngayon, parang, yes, kalaban natin yung printmakers at saka mga stickers, pero it's also parang a form of diversification na din na you cannot fault din yung ibang comics creator. But at the same time, parang comics pa rin, alam mo yun, may ganun eh, may back and forth ganun na feeling. So, ayun lang.
Parang kung wala na akong paidadagdag. Sinabi nila, sabi na
Pantera yata yun.
wala naman. Feeling ko, yung mga issues naman nababasa niyo na sa Twitter. So, updated na nga. Ewan ko, siguro sa akin parang hindi pa, parang ewan ko, parang bata pa ako sa pagko-comics in a sense na hindi ko pa masyadong nakita yung difference over the years. Pero, nung nag-start ako, parang, yun nga, yung dami lang din nung ng comics and creators yung nakita kong difference. Parang, feel ko maraming comics creator na medyo napagod creatively. Kaya, nagpahinga muna, hindi pa sila makabalik, hindi pa nila makuha yung confidence to create a new work. So, sana makita ulit natin yung mga nakakasama natin before sa mga event.
Since na-mention na nila yung sa side ng creators, bigay ko naman yung observation ko dun sa mga readers ng ating mga conventions. Kasi nung nagsimula ako, which was yun nga, yung late 90s, early 2000s, so patok na patok ang anime. So, ang mga tao dati, well, yung mga clientele dati is parang may pagka-colonial mentality. So, that yun nga, pag hindi original manga, hindi nila bibilhin. Hindi nila papansinin yung gawang Pilipino. Mababa yung tingin nila. So, I think that's one improvement that we see nowadays, that there are more people who are willing to give local comics a chance. Siguro, dahil slowly nagiging mainstream na din, and also thanks to yung parang globalization, I guess. Kasi nadidiscover na din ng mundo yung galing ng Filipino artists. Like recently, di ba, na-nominate si Renren Galenos for the Pulitzer Prize. Woo! So, may pros and cons ang globalization and the internet and the disappearance of borders. Ang isang positive nun is, yun nga, everyone else is becoming aware of our talents. So, parang na-hijack yung colonial mentality ng iba kasi dahil, you know, yung parang nangyayari sa ating films, di ba? Pag nare-recognize sa abroad, uy, papanoorin ko din. So, parang medyo masama, but at the same time, it's also good kasi, yun nga, we're getting newer readers, newer audiences to try out our work.
Parang can't add anything kasi almost same lang eh. Although I think for me lang, I think only one edition, but I think that would be mas marami ng self-publishing studios. Kasi I do remember na parang puro Xerox lang ginawa ko back then. Then I think around maybe late 2000, I did notice na mas marami ng self-publishing houses na parang like they're willing to print comics for other people. Parang ganon. Like, I don't know, it's kind of amusing to see that. Parang they want to help the comic industry grow din eh. Saka, ayun, it's also okay to add your own merch din based on the comics. Yan eh, kasi competition din. I mean, I guess yan for me.
Medyo na-touch up na ni Miss Bambi yung next nating question, which is, paano mahihikayat ang mga tao na magbasa ng comics? Kasi, recently, naglabas ang National Book Development Board ng isang survey, yung National Readership Survey 2023, at sinasabi nila na may steady decline tayo sa readership. So, both sa kabataan at sa adults. So, ang pagbabasehan nila dito ay yung mga non-school books daw. So, ilan yung mga tao na pumipiling magbasa? Medyo mababa. So, kahit pa sabihin na hindi naman saklaw ng buong Pilipinas yung buong survey na yon, totoo naman, pero I don't think it changes the fact na may decline. So, kayo as komikeras, paano kaya paano ninyo, in your own way, mahihikayat ang pagbabasa ng comics or just pagbabasa in general din?
Actually, feel ko yan. Kasi as a parent, hirap akong pagbasahin yung anak ko. Ang daming comics sa bahay, pero he's not really interested. Ewan ko, he really grew up na, I guess he interest. Although we tried letting him read, sa school din naman, they don't have a library talaga. Sa yung past two schools niya, they don't really have a library na may good reading material. Actually, dun sa comic stock namin with the UP Grail a few weeks back, na-mention namin ni Taga-Ilog yun. One of the things that we are lacking is children's book materials. Actually, comics. Kulang tayo sa comics for kids. It's good na maraming, sabi nga doon sa kinuwento ni Ilog, during our time, may funny comics. Yun yung mga kinalikihan namin. We grew up reading funny comics. So there's material for kids to read. Kaya lang, yung kids namin nowadays, wala silang ganun. So, what's really lacking is yung comic material for children na local. Okay, so that's one thing. Sana to encourage kids from reading. Wala na rin yung children's shows na local eh. We don't have children's shows. Laki yung kids ngayon sa Cocomelon, Sesame Street, what yan. So kaya yung mga English spokening yung mga bata ngayon. Kasi they grew up with English shows. So pati yung training nila is in English. So pati yung Tagalog, hirap sila sa Tagalog. My son is hirap sa Tagalog. So yun yung isa sa mga nakikita namin, one of the things we need. It's ironic na sinasabi nila is yung comics ay pambata. Pero tuwing convention, tas may parents na naghahanap na meron kayong comics na pambata. We have only a handful na gumagawa ng comics na pambata. So hopefully this would encourage creators to do something about it.
Yung sa kids, regarding readership, parang similar din yung concern kay Ma'am Sherry. Also, additional lang din, I guess. Kasi parang recently, di ba, parang may rise ng mga parents na mas nag-homeschool na lang instead of, yes. Yung din na-notice ko is, dahil may lack ng material, I'm part of a workshop na are helping kids create their own book. So parang alam nila na gusto nilang magsulat, pero at the same time wala silang mahanap na reference ng paano sila magsulat, yung mga ganun. So yun, similar din doon. Pero at the same time, I guess may material online pero hindi din siya, paano ba, substansya? Yung tipong I mean,
Hindi siya localized, kumbaga.
Yeah.
So, laging nasa context ng Western readers, hindi ng Pilipinong mababasa or Filipino creators.
Yes. Tapos parang yun nga, yun nga yung na-point out din kanina is like the globalization. It's not, may pros and cons siya, but at the same time, in terms of readership, yun nga yung nangyari, especially with the younger readers na wala eh. So,
iniisip ko din nga siya minsan kasi actually kahit yung mga ka-age ko or mga younger lang a bit sa akin, mga hindi na din talaga nagbabasa yung mga tao. So, feeling ko siguro yung sa comics parang kulang pata kasi yung awareness ng mga tao na nag-e-exist to, na parang siguro tayo na as gumagawa ng comics, aware tayo na may comics, pero yung like yung madlang people, wala silang alam na nag-e-exist tayo. So, Ayun, so siguro yung ginagawa ko is by, ginagamit ko, tinatry ko gamitin social media, basically para ma-reach ko yung tao na hindi ko nare-reach pag mga comic-et. Kasi yun yung mga, as in, hindi naman talaga aware na may comics, na may comics convention. So, ayun, siguro nakakatulong din talaga yung internet para maka-reach ng mas madaming tao aside from dun sa usual na interested sa comics. Kasi minsan, pag nag-upload ako sa Facebook, parang nakakaabot siya sa mga FB group na hindi naman talaga nagbabasa ng comics. Pero parang, kunyari may ginawa akong topic na parang related sa something na gusto nila, tapos parang na-share sa group nila, ganun, parang naabot ko yung mga ganung audience kahit hindi sila aware sa comics.
Add ko lang. Add ko lang doon sa mga sinabi, no? Wala na kasing comics, books in general, in public spaces. Kasi, like yung na-mention ni Sherry, aside from yung may mga children's comics like funny comics, etc. Nung panahon namin, sa schools may comics, may gospel comics, may science comics, di ba? So what happened na, bakit dati, nadadala siya sa school, so parang there's something that happened within the system then, na yung what happened, why is the Department of Education not bringing in comics into schools anymore? Sa school library namin, doon ko na-discover yung comics kasi aside from yung mga gospel, science, at kung ano-ano pa, meron kaming Tintin, may Asterix, but I don't think there are those kinds of reading materials anymore in school libraries. Much less, alam pa ba ng mga bata kung ano yung library? Kasi, di ba, part of the findings of that survey is ano yung nag-i-influensya sa'yo para magbasa ng libro. Pansinin nyo, walang nang bagget ng library. So parang, that tells a lot to me, no? Parang hindi na nila alam, hindi na ba accessible, anong nangyari sa atin. So parang somewhere between then and now, may nangyari sa ating system, sa ating culture, kaya din nag-decline yung leadership.
Dagdag lang po ako. Kasi yan, she brought up a good point. Kasi nung high school ako sa college, I do remember seeing comics based on the Bible, saka yung math, science, everything. I remember reading those comics sa high school library ko. And I would say I'm a bookworm kasi din eh. Ayun, I guess yan nga, may nangyari talaga sa system. I feel like we should kind of bring back those comics and even mga like subscribed zines. I don't know, kasi back in my day there was even subscribed magazines na reading material for literature, history, or even yung Filipino din. Meron din ganun back in my day. So I guess maybe, hopefully one day we could bring those back and also more public libraries din talaga. Because really, there's less libraries talaga these days eh.
Sorry, may add lang ako kasi naalala ko lang recently dun sa Philippine Book Festival. Yung sa parang first 2 days ng festival, mas nag-center sila around mga local publishers. Tapos parang may nag-approach sa amin ng mga educators, mga teachers. Pero hindi siya for kids eh. Parang naghahanap sila ng comics na for teens. So parang, at mas geared siya to education, parang educational comics. So, katable ko nun is si Julius from Atomos. So, may comic siya about, yung mga characters niya ay based sa mga periodic table of elements. So, medyo na-highlight din yun kasi parang may push, yes. I think nag-change na din yung readership. I think tinutulungan din nila yung readership slowly. Pero yun lang, yung sa PDF lang na napansin ko is more geared sa teens kasi yung napag-usapan namin kanina ni Ma'am Sherry, parang mas nasa phone sila eh. So parang kailangan mong, paano ba, something fun and educational, and comics is the bridge for that. So, yun. I think yun lang. Dagdag ko lang yung observation na yun from recent event.
Thank you for that. May naalala lang din ako na word na nahagilap ko lang sa internet, yung edutainment daw, na yung pagsasama ng edukasyon tsaka entertainment. Na parang, honestly, tingin ko yun din yung hanap ng mga bata. Hindi lang halata that they're curious, but I think curious pa rin yung mga bata. And baka nga yung lack of visibility nakaka-contribute sa hindi nila pagtuklas or paghawak sa mga comics. Kaya nagbumukhang hindi sila interested, but it's actually because walang nakalapag and it's not as visible as nung funny comics nung nakaraan. So, hindi napopwersahan yung mga bata na magbasa ulit. Kasi na-flashback ako sa gospel comics, parang, oh my God, I forgot that existed. And ngayon ko lang nare-realize na, I'm thankful that existed kasi it is still comics. It was a bore to read, but I read it. And I think mahalaga din pala yun. So, shot na take for granted ko pala yan. So, we are now down to our last comment. So, kung sa audience may nais magtanong, lumapit lang. So, pero ayun, ang last question ko ngayon ay, ano ang mga natutunan o natuklasan nyo bilang komikera? Specifically, gender-specific siya bilang komikera. Ano yung struggles ng komikera na palagay nyong hindi masyadong nakikita or parang hindi napapansin? I'm not gonna share my experience. Kayo po ang magsasalita dito. Nagkahiyaan tayo. Like, is there an instance na there was a creepy con-goer na sinundan kayo or a fan na way too much? Isa sa mga weird experience ko, I was selling comics and this guy suddenly grabbed my hand and he was touching it. But the guy, naramdaman ko na he was a special child. So he didn't know na he was being weird. Pero syempre, it was weird. I did not feel violated by that moment. Kasi when he talked, parang ako, spento. Sorry to label it that way, but I grew up with a family na malapitin sa mga children with special needs. So I know yung vibe. Kaya I know na to adjust myself and hindi naman ill intention tong lalaki na con-goer. Pero yun nga, has there been instances na parang you felt unheard or unsafe, mga ganon, na maybe we should just express. Kahit yun na lang, express. I'm not necessarily looking for a solution yet, pero yun nga, just in case na
gusto kong type na comics, yun na lang yung gagawin ko para may makakontribute akong bago.
So far, personally, parang wala naman so far, I guess. Although I would say na there were some very rare instances na whenever I show the comic, tapos they would ask me, sino po yung artist? Sabi ko, ako po. And they thought, parang I get the impression that but to be fair, they thought I was a dude at first, parang ganon. Tapos nagpapayitin, I kind of dressed like one, but I guess, it's not that much of a big deal for me. So, personally, it's not too much of a big problem.
In terms of yung opportunities, gaya nga ng sabi ni Sherry, medyo lucky tayo sa Pilipinas. Kasi, parang hindi barrier yung gender. Like, look at me, kasi when I was working in Questor, naging editor-in-chief ako. But, yun nga, I was the only girl in the staff. Na kahit, the downside of that is, kahit ako yung boss, so, opportunity-wise, no problem. Pero syempre, you're surrounded by males. So, may mga nagpaparinig, may mga proposition. I'm not sure kung ganun pa rin ang culture, corporate culture ngayon kasi that was, the early 90s and 2000s. Pero maraming, in this day and age, considered siya as sexual discrimination. Pero parang, at that time, parang, ganun lang sila talaga they're just boys. So, tapos and then there were some staff members who were older pa, mga tito, and you know how titos talk, diba? So, mga ganon. Tapos, even up to the recent day na, sobrang recent, last Saturday lang sa Free Comic Book Day. So, there was this guy, actually, siguro doon lang siya malapit sa mall na yun kasi tuwing may event na nakaka-interact namin sila. So, kilala niya ako from Questor Days. Tapos, ang weird lang nung sinabi niya sa akin last Saturday ng Free Comic Book Day. Meron ka bang jersey na may pangalan mo? Kasi gusto kong suotin. So parang napaka-weird kasi it's not, do you have yung superhero character namin or whatever, kung sinong character sa comics. It was like, ikaw, hindi yung pangalan mo na nasa jersey. Parang, wala. Huwag mo nang alamin, basta wala. So parang, one among many weird things that happened. So I'm not sure if kung sa lalaki may nag-approach na gano'n na, Mr. Julius Villanueva, meron ka bang jersey kasi gusto kong suotin, di ba? So I'm not sure if, yun nga, does that thing happen to men or, I don't know.
So far, I guess, in terms of opportunity din, I guess na-spoil ako dun sa community namin kasi parang, in terms of, kasi galing ako sa background ng BLTX, so halos lahat nandun ay medyo punks lang, gusto lang maglabas ng work. Tapos, kung sino may magandang work, edi ilabas pa lang. So, ganun yung community na I sort of grew up. Pero yung parang doon siya na-cultivate. So far yung mga mentors ko were nice. Tapos pag may mga opportunities na ganito, ino-open up. Although yes, majority sa kanila ay mga lalaki nga, there are still women key figures na alam kong sila din ay parang medyo masyadong brand yung word na championing. Pero yun, piliin na din nila for certain projects na, ay, hindi ko okay ka for this work. So, wala akong nakitang parang discrimination or in terms of my sex na dahil babae ka, na hindi ka pwede. Well, on the other hand, yung mga weirdness naman sa mga cons, may mga hovering instances na hindi ko din alam kung na-experience ng mga guys to. Pero yung mag-hover lang siya, tapos parang may mga subtle na gano'n, tapos parang paano na? Anong gusto mong gawin? So yun. In terms of my community and the people who are helping me rise or nagkikritik ng mga works ko, it's all good. But on the other side of the table, I think, yun yung medyo, gano'n. So, yeah, I don't know how to address that situation. Pero I guess for those na lang, kung may makikita kayo na someone uncomfortable or sinusundan or something, siguro call out nyo na lang na gano'n. Kasi, yeah, we have instances na mga gano'n. May mga guys din sa table namin doon say, anong problema? So, yeah.
Ayan. So, may nais bang magtanong mula sa audience? Ayan,
hello po. Tatanong ko lang if you think na, di ba, it's always been a male-dominated yung comics community. Do you think nag-shift na ba? Nag-equalize na yung number of women na making comics? Or mas marami ng babaeng gumagawa ng comics more than the men? And also follow up din na, you feel na medyo yung ibang lalaki parang making hate or the animosity na gumagawa kayo ng comics. Some other na negative na emotion. Parang gano'n. So, ayun.
mas marami ng female comiceros now compared to like, say, when I was still elementary and high school. So that's a good thing. For yung barangay, city or something, parang personally, I haven't seen that so far. Again, maybe it's because a lot of people would, kasi sometimes I don't act like a female daw eh. I act too boyish daw. So maybe they don't see me as a girl. Pero at the same time, I don't know, personally, again, it doesn't bother me too much. But I do hope na it doesn't scare off females na gusto ko maging komikera talaga. I don't know, just do it talaga.
Based doon sa exhibitors, like sa Comic-Con, mas marami pa rin yung lalaki na comic creators compared to girls. Pero at least, pwede mong sabihin na 40-60. Ayun, 40-60 yung guys to girls. Compared dati na sabihin mo 80-20. Okay, so when I started siguro 80-20. Pero ngayon nasa 40-60% na yung girls to guys. So, pero mas marami pa rin yung boys. Pero at least, I could say na may publishers tayo ng mga babae. Diba? So, so hindi lang creators, may publishers tayo ng girls. So, anything goes na. So, ayun, equal opportunities.
Papasok ko na naman yung global trend, no? So, merong siya eh, parang it's part of a global trend. So, dati kasi, pag sinabi natin comics, ang una natin naiisip is superhero. So, yung nung US scene, male-dominated talaga siya. So, parang the creators made comics for themselves. And yung superhero genre ngayon is dying out. Sorry, nandun si Kobe Gomez. Pero ganun talaga. Nagpa-die out na yung superhero. And it shows, kasi diba, mga New York Times bestseller, ganyan. Anong number one? Manga. Manga, parang, I'm not being sexist when I say, pero parang mas gusto ng babae basahin. And there are more female creators. So yung mga bumibili ng comics ngayon is mas maraming female. Tapos ngayon, interestingly din, it's part then of the feminist movement. If yung mga like yung BL, you would think na it's boys love. So you would think it's for gays, for homosexual. It's actually a feminist movement. Kasi yung mga female manga creators before, maraming restrictions sa kanila. So like kunyari, ang female, siyempre babae ako. So gagawa ko ng female character. But the male editors would say, kunyari, di ba pwedeng i-drawing si Heidi na tumatalon over the fence? Hindi pwede yan, babae si Heidi. So, anong ginawa ng mga creators? Gumawa sila ng beautiful looking men. So, ganun na sinavert yung restrictions on their gender, on what they were told not to do. So, gumawa sila ng mga beautiful boys na mukha yung mga babae. So, that's part of the feminist movement. That's why yung BL, marami din mga girls ang nagbabasa. It's not mostly for boys, it's for girls. Kasi din, syempre, kasama natin din yung pag-repress ng sexual fantasies, diba? Hindi mo pwedeng pakita na sexual yung babae. Pero gawa tayo ng lalaking character. Kasi yung lalaki sa lalaki, pwede, diba? So, ayun, naging ganun yung trend dahil sa rise ng manga, anime, nag-shift din yung readership. Naging mas appealing siya for girls. Kaya din siguro, and then it trickled down to the rest of the world. So, parang ngayon, mas marami nang gumagawa, mas marami nang nagbabasa ng comics.
Mag-manage ako ng club din dati sa masimulat ko.
May gusto pa bang magtanong? One last question na po. One last question.
Original lang ano.
Wala na? Ay, walang gusto lumapit? Di kami nangangagat.
Eto.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so that ends our roundtable discussion and thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much sa ating mga tagapakinig. At magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Ang event, ang Seven Lakes Comics Fest ay hanggang 7 p.m. Okay, basta hanggang 7 p.m. pa. So, feel free na maglibot pa, bumili pa, kumausap ng mga tao sa ating community dahil yun nga, napaka-open at napaka-creative at bukas and welcoming and very warm ang comics community. So, thank you so much for being here and for such an insightful afternoon. Sana po marami rin tayo natutunan and magandang hapon po